Reading a poem from a good friend of mine, a very good friend of mine, Tom Wayman, who's a BC poet. He lives in the Kootenay, he's been a poet for about 50 years. This is about his 25th book. Unfortunate title, Watching a Man Break a Dog's Back, Poems for a Dark Time, which were dark times these days. Okay, Professor Ponzi addresses his incoming class of MBA students. The 21st century corporation is an opportunity such as the world has seldom seen. A truism you'll hear from other faculty is that the purpose of an economic venture is not to provide goods or services, the latter assertion being the pablum we feed to customers and employees, but to make money. And I'm here to inform you instead, a company's purpose is to make you money. In these uncertain times, your goal needs to be to secure as much remuneration per year as the average rube earns in a lifetime. The sky is not the limit. Think International Space Station. Think the orbit of Mars. Performance bonus, market offset, retention top-up, whatever describes your take-home, your aim is to ensure that if the firm collapses tomorrow, you're more than set for life. And since you have to protect yourself from some little grinder elbowing you aside, a corporate merger in which you're squeezed out, or misguided CEO or CFO who concludes you're expendable, an exit strategy must be included in your contract before you start any place. Screw a golden handshake, you want to be at the wheel of a golden Benz if forced to drive off into the sunset. In order for money to be available at your level in suitable quantities, a steady inflow at the bottom is required, no different than water pumped from a well or sap drawn upwards in a tree. The desired currency stream may be generated by cutting staff, lowering wages, or relocating manufacture to some country where people are grateful to work for a pittance, and where unions, safety regulations, or similar socialistic obstacles to the free market are not tolerated. A less robust service or product can always be engineered to free up dollars, and your PR department should be able to depict such changes as a consumer benefit. Nor does my little list exhaust the possibilities. An asset or cash-rich competitor might be ripe for acquisition. The principle to remember is what floods into your wallet first has to be extracted from some source. And as I like to say, no extraction, no satisfaction. Let me caution you, however, that each technique which facilitates the ascent of wealth into your bank account yields a finite amount. Thus, once you have obtained all that one outfit is capable of providing, a shift to another may be prudent, even admirable. We live in an ecology-conscious era. Intermittently recycling yourself allows several enterprises over the span of a career to appreciate your expertise. So says Professor Ponzi. Second poem from another very good friend of mine, Mark Warrior, or MC Warrior, who's also been a poet for 50 years, and this is his very first book. He's a late bloomer, made in 2020, called Disappearing Mingled with Blues. Okay. Cleaning up history. I am raising a subscription to erect a statue to the unknown janitor, to the slave wiping blood from the Republic's marbled walls while Marcus Antonius, that's Mark Antony, praises his good friend Caesar. It will be a monument to the rest of us, to those who must follow armed with mops and buckets, after the great men of history have tracked their muddy boots across the kitchen floors of our lives. No expense will be spared. This memorial will be stronger than the tantrums of heroes, more durable than the spite of kings. Not even the most sycophantic of scholars will be able to ignore its concrete proof that history itself requires a regular spring cleaning.